Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Back to you. I'm going back to you.
This is Elliott. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Prescott from the gun on 3rd. He's got his target. It's Cobb. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. 3rd and 4, he did just enough. I mean, just enough to move the chains.
And that's all you're looking for, right? Just want to keep the drive moving. You don't need the big play there. Just get to that marker that you described, and he was able to do just that.
Two first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Now Elliott takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
1-yard gain brings up 2nd and 9 at the 50-yard line.
Two minutes on the clock in what's been a scoreless first half. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll check in with our Jonathan Coachman. He'll have highlights and analysis of the first half, and our highlights will likely be on the defensive side of the football here. Scoreless game. Give him 9 on the play, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
Well, it looked like a quick hitter, a 3-step drop, but when it's not there, what do? He elects to try and escape through the massive bodies up the middle, and he does so and picks up positive yardage.
Play number 7 coming on this drive. It's 3rd and inches. Prescott to throw it, and that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A 59-yard attempt.
And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over at the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
Time to revisit what we thought of San Francisco in the Super Bowl here, Charles, as they come back out on offense. They were looking to draw even with the Steelers and the Pats with 6 Super Bowl titles, but that's going to have to wait at least another year. Now, are you still bullish on this team moving forward?
I absolutely am, and I know it goes against the grain a little bit because typically the team that loses the Super Bowl, it's not just the Super Bowl winner that has a hangover. Super Bowl loser has a struggle the next year as well. I think this team is built to come back and compete for another Super Bowl title. Offensive line, I really like it. They'll get Weston Richburg back at center. I think that the running game will continue to get better. Don't be surprised if they actually draft a runner to try and supplement things. They'll increase the receiving core. And I think Jimmy Garoppolo will continue to improve at quarterback. And on the defensive side, they feel like they have a lot to prove because of the way the game ended for them. They didn't shut them down. I think this is a team that will be on a mission in 2020.
And I'm not putting this all on Kyle Shanahan, but just for him, how crushing the loss he had as the OC with Atlanta and now this lead that he loses as the head coach of San Francisco.
He'll be hearing from guys like you and me all year long about those 2 games now. Leads, not doing certain things that we expected him to do, i.e. running the football down the stretch. He'll have all offseason to digest that. But one thing about Kyle Shanahan, very confident in himself. I think he handles these things well, and he'll use it as fuel as well, too.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. To throw, it's Garoppolo. And he finds his target, it's Marquise Goodwin. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. And yet again, it's Garoppolo. Open man is born. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. Marquise Goodwin, 31 yards, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Robbie Gould on for the extra point. And the 49ers grab a 7-0 lead.
Makes the score 9-7.
So that drive spanned 5 plays. And the end result for the 49ers, a touchdown. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Dallas takes over possession. It was a tough year in Big D. This was a team with Super Bowl aspirations in training camp. Got off to the 3-0 start. Got Zeke signed and in the fold, but then the wheels started to come off from that 3-0 record. 5-8 the rest of the way for an 8-8 finish. Not enough to win a down NFC East, and also not enough for Jason Garrett to keep his job. So now Mike McCarthy enters the fold.
And when you look back at this roster, and as you said, a team with Super Bowl aspirations, this is not a team that was overhyped, as is often the case with the Dallas Cowboys. That was a legitimate deal in my estimation. That roster was good enough to contend for a Super Bowl. Just never really got going with consistency. Couldn't beat the better teams that they played. And as you noted, finished 8-8. Mike McCarthy takes over a very good roster. A young quarterback in Dak Prescott. So it's the second act for Mike McCarthy. He has something he feels like he needs to prove after the way it ended in Green Bay. And this Dallas team has a lot that they need to improve on and a lot to show the rest of the world that this team really should be in a Super Bowl, and soon.
By the way, since they did not win the NFC East, that's now 15 straight seasons that the NFC East has not had a repeat champion.
Can you say volatile division?
Absolutely. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Big stop, G. Big stop. Let's go.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. That one complete to Elliott. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Here we go, G. Here I come.
Looking to throw. Prescott. And he hits Jason Witten, the tight end. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 41-yard line. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. Now Brett Maher, he hit from 62 in his rookie season of 2018. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt, and this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot, and this score will stay right where it is. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big, and we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.